Hello, welcome to another episode of Pre-Workout Chat. Today is August 3rd, 2024, and this should be part 3 of my pre-workout chat. I am trying to get these videos to be a little bit shorter to make them more digestible. I know part 1 was about 15 minutes or less. Part 2 ended up going like way over, and that's because I had like a lot of information to talk about in part 2. I basically went over, my experiment with HTLT, and so I basically was giving an update on my on Turk Builder Plus, GO2 Max, and G Test. And I was just, when I'm giving those updates, because the viewer might be somebody new and they might not have saw the old video, so sometimes I have to give like a longer introduction to talk about what it is that I'm going through, what it is that I'm trying to achieve, why I'm taking those specific supplements and stuff like that. So sometimes that could go that just trying to get all of that into one video is going to make it automatically be longer than 15 minutes, but hopefully this one will be way shorter than that. So in this video, I wanted to give an update on my plan, what it is that I'm doing. So let's dive in, and you know what that means. It's time to get into that Excel sheet. So this is where I'm at right now. This is just the weight loss projector, but let me just go through this real quick. So entering into August, I am entering into phase 2. Basically, I've decided to extend my experiment with the GO2 Max, the Turk Builder Plus, and the G Test, and I'm going to probably just keep on taking them for about a year. So the program that I'm doing right now is going to continue for about a year. So that's what I have this segment, this little forecast built off of. It's just over the course of 1 year. So, entering into phase 2, I weighed myself at 363.8 pounds, and this was around July 29th. If you guys have been keeping up with me, when I first started, I was around 360 pounds. Then I got all the way down to 347, but I got to 347 so quickly, and that was basically because of the water weight. I started taking creatine, I started drinking more water, and then my weight started to go back up, and it just basically was hanging out like around 355. Then I was doing minor tweaks with my diet, minor tweaks with the exercise, and so the weight was just going up and down. I was also going through some issues. I had to take a little bit off from the gym because it was taking me longer to recover. I had a few crashes in the diet where I just basically spurged and just kept on eating for about a week. Then I also had like an issue with COVID, and then I started trying to really make everything come together when I started doing the HTLT experiment. Now during that phase of originally I was trying to like lose weight, right? And after COVID, and then when I started the HTLT experiment, I actually started to saying, let me just try building muscle. And so at that point, I got off the carnivore diet. I had a more regular diet where I'm now eating carbs, and I set my calories to like around 2,300 calories, somewhere between 2,300 to 2,600 calories. And I started really focusing more on building muscle, and so my weight basically started to like slowly go back up, and eventually it had went all the way up to like 368 pounds. And now my weight started to kind of come down, and that's because I made some minor tweaks with my diet. So let's get into the diet portion. So this is what I'm taking. This is what I'm consuming right now. So in the morning, before I do my cardio workout, I like to consume about 4 hard-boiled eggs. Um, and then I'll go to work. Um, then for lunch, I like to have like beef with spinach. So I'll have about 1 pound of ground beef and 3 cups of spinach, and that's pretty much what I'm consuming right now. Before I was consuming beef with rice, but I went ahead and took the rice out because I'm trying to reduce the total amount of calories that I am consuming. So instead of rice, I'm just having the spinach, and instead of having like cheese and all this stuff with my eggs, I'm just eating the eggs just hard boiled with salt and pepper. And then after I come home from work, I'll do my workout, and then I'll have like a peanut butter. Well, I'll have some type of protein shake, and in the protein shake, I have like some soy milk in there. While I'm at work, I usually will have a tea, and what I typically do is I'll just brew like about 4 cups of tea, and I'll just add some soy milk in there, like 2 tablespoons of honey, and maybe a a creamer or something like that, and I'll pretty much have that. And of course, I'll also have my supplements. As you guys know, I'll take a multivitamin, multimineral. I take fish oil. I take creatine. Um, I also take Turk Builder Plus, GO2 Max, and I take G Test. And those are pretty much all the supplements that I'm taking. So overall, I consume about 1 pound of ground beef, 3 cups of raw spinach, 4 eggs. I like to go for the brown eggs, cage free if possible. I go with 2 scoops of protein powder, 1 cup of frozen fruit. I prefer to get to just use like a banana. Um, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1.5 cup of soy milk, and of course the vitamins that I've mentioned before. When I'm consuming all of this together, it comes out to about 71 grams of carbs, 127 grams of fat, and 162 grams of protein. I would like to increase the amount of protein that I'm taking, but it's going to be a little bit hard to do um, without making the diet, feel ultimately like crap. So I'm just going to have to just see if 162 grams of protein is enough. If not, what I'll try to do is increase, like add maybe like another scoop of protein powder is something that I might try to do to increase the amount of protein that I'm taking. So when all of that is said and done, um, I'm consuming about 2,061 calories, right? Now we have to be a little bit careful when we're doing these calculations. Now remember, all food labels can be about, I think it's up to 30% different than what it is on the label. So let's say that I'm consuming, let's just round up to 2,100 calories, and then we have to multiply that by about 30% plus that 2,100 calories. So I am right now, I'm trying to consume 2,100 calories, but again, you have to be very careful with food labels, since I didn't even know this until somebody has said this, but yeah, it could be the food labels can be 30% different than what it is. It could be 30% less or 30% more than whatever you're reading on that label. So potentially speaking, I'm consuming somewhere between 2,100 to 2,700 calories. I think 2,700 calories is a bit. I don't think it's going to be that different. I don't think it's going to be that high because a lot of the stuff that I'm consuming are not processed. Most of the stuff that I'm consuming is not processed right. The ground beef is something that I cook. The spinach is spinach. The eggs is just regular eggs. Fruit, of course, is fruit. The only thing that's really going to be processed is going to be the protein powder, and the soy milk. I wouldn't even consider the honey to be processed, because I go with raw honey. So again, only the protein powder and the soy milk. So even if we were putting like a 30% difference with the protein powder and the soy milk, it still wouldn't be that much. Um, so I'm not really too negative when it comes to how much calories that I'm potentially taking. But the goal is to keep my calories around 2100. So that's my diet. Not really too much of a difference, you know. Just basically no rice. I basically took out the rice and I reduced the amount of eggs that I'm taking, and I'm not eating the cheese and all the other stuff that I used to put with my eggs. So that stuff was removed, and which ultimately resulted in a bigger reduction of carbs, and a slight reduction of protein. Like before, the protein was around 180 grams. Now it's down to 162 grams. So just a small loss. Just a small loss. So yeah, that's the diet. Nothing too different. So, oops, let me undo whatever I just did. Anyway, so as I stated before, I'm entering phase two. So everything that I did before phase two, I'm just considering that phase one. Phase one was the introductory. Phase one was just me crawling on the ground, trying to get up on my feet so that I can actually, really get this weight loss journey and health improvement journey, out of the gate. So now I'm entering phase two. So with phase two, I'm trying to get, more structured. Right? I'm trying to exercise more. I'm trying to do more cardio than what I was doing before. I'm trying to get real discipline when it comes to my diet and to splurge less, right? So, if you're wondering, do I sometimes splurge? I do sometimes splurge. I might have, commonly, I like to try to go for like a Domino's pizza, and I'll just get like a large pizza, and it will be like, half pineapple, jalapenos, and pepperoni, and the other half will be, Italian sausage, black olives, and mushroom. And that's typically what I'll like to eat. And I'll also like to get that marble brownie. Though, if I'm splurging, I'm probably going to start cutting back on doing that with instead of. I'm just probably just not going to have the brownie whatsoever. But that's typically what I like to do on occasion to treat myself. Is I just like to have like a Domino's pizza or something like that. So yeah, that's my splurge that I do from time to time, or I might order some Chinese food. So those are typically my go-tos when it comes down to a splurge, and I do that. Maybe every 2 weeks. Before I was doing it pretty much once a week. Now I'm doing this every 2 weeks or maybe like once a month, depending on how I'm feeling. So yeah, that's what I'm doing in phase two. I'm just trying to do my plan as close to what my plan says as possible. Just trying to do everything as close as possible to how it's written out and really stick to it. Of course, there will be different phases going forward. And each of them are going to be like slightly different. Like, for example, in phase two, as you can see, the diet is 2,100 calories. I'm lifting 6 times a week and I'm doing cardio 6 times a week. And I'll get into the routine a little bit later, but you can essentially just figure out that in the morning I'm going to do cardio, and so in the morning, I'm going to do cardio, and then when I come home from work is when I'm going to do some weightlifting. And of course, you already saw the diet. I just rounded up. It's going to be about 2,100 calories. a day. And when I weighed myself on the 29th, I was around 363.8 pounds. And so if I do everything by the book, I should be losing about 4 pounds a week during phase two. When I get into phase three, I should have conquered a lot of things. I should be splurging way less in phase three. Maybe doing a splurge once a month. Um, and I'm going to basically increase the amount of cardio that I'm doing. Instead of doing cardio 6 days a week, I'll be doing cardio 7 days a week. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to reduce the amount of calories that I'm consuming by about 100 calories. And so ultimately, what that's going to look like is I'm essentially going to, um, I'm most likely going to maybe remove the soy milk. I'll probably just not drink any soy milk, or I'll probably go with a more lower calorie soy milk, and just maybe reduce the amount of honey that I'm eating by from 2 tablespoons to just 1 tablespoon, and that should help me lose about 100 calories out of my diet. Then when I enter phase four is when things are going to change up. So by the time that I hit phase four, I should be doing more exercise. So in each phase, I also increase the amount of exercises that I'm doing in my routines. And so by the time I get to phase four, it will be too much exercise to do all in one session. So I'll have to break that session up. And so what it's going to look like is I'm going to end up doing a session of cardio and a session of weightlifting in the morning. And I'm going to do a session of cardio and weightlifting in the evening. And when it comes down to the Turk Builder Plus and the GO2 Max, I'm going to take half of the Turk Builder Plus and GO2 Max in the morning, and I'm going to take the other half of the Turk Builder and GO2 Max in the evening, and that should keep me pretty much leveled and keep the quality of my workout going. So basically, working out pretty much like 4 times a day is what's going to happen when I get into phase four. Now, by the time I get into phase four, I theoretically, if all things being perfect and being exact, should be around 268 pounds. So I should be a lot healthier, and I should be able to handle that increase in work. Now, another thing to consider is as if you notice, the amount of calories that I'm burning for my workouts are decreasing, and the reason is because the less that I weigh, the less amount of calories that I am able to burn within that same given amount of time. So let's say, doing a workout for about, doing weightlifting for about 40 minutes, I could burn about 600 calories, right? I could do that easily in my current weight, which is around 363 pounds. But as I lose the weight, it's eventually going to get harder for me to burn that same amount of calories over the course of that 40 minutes. So that means in order to even stay relevant, I'm going to have to do more work. So that's why I have to increase the number of exercises that I'm doing just to try to keep up with this number. So this number will be more or less depending on the actual calculations. I don't have that, so this is just an estimation. And it's the same thing with cardio. The more weight that I lose, the more cardio that I have to do in order to even keep up with those numbers. So that's why, again, when I get into phase four, and it's going to go into phase five, you're going to see me basically doing like an hour of cardio and 30 minutes of weightlifting in the morning, an hour of cardio and 30 minutes of weightlifting in the evening, and that's just going to be. By the time I enter phase four, my diet will have reduced down to about 1,900 calories. So at this point, I probably would have gotten rid of the soy milk. I probably would have gotten rid of the honey. And so pretty much I'm just down to, my protein powder, some fruit, spinach, and ground beef and eggs. That's pretty much what I'm down to by the time that I get to this 1900 calories. Um, and there's not going to be much difference entering to phase five. Phase five, this is where I'm really excited to get to. I really can't wait to get to phase five. Phase five is going to be like around April, April 28th. By that time, I should be theoretically around 230 pounds. Um, when I get to that, of course, I will reduce the diet down to about 1,800 calories. I really don't want to go below 1,800 calories, as I've kind of indicated in prior videos when it comes to recovery. I notice when working out for hypertrophy, my recovery starts getting very extended when it comes to doing when my calories drop down to about 1,800 calories. So I'm not even sure if I would be able to even do this type of load where I'm, doing an hour of cardio and 30 minutes of weightlifting in the morning and in the evening at just consuming 1,800 calories. Again, I would have to get down to that weight in order to even try that. And so this is a big what if when it comes to phase five. But we'll see. Maybe I will be healthy enough where I can consume 1,800 calories and still do this type of workout, but we'll see. But that's phase five. Now, again, this is calculated over the period of 1 year. And as you can see, by the time I reach July 28th, 2025, my weight will have gotten down to 197 pounds. So again, all things being perfect, right? That's if this forecast is accurate, I should get down to 197 pounds by the end of 1 year of doing this program. And you can see right here, these are my description of the different phases. Now, this is just a big what if. This projection is really ambitious. And I think we could all agree that this projection is very, very, very ambitious. However, it's possible. Now, do I think 100% that over the course of a year that I will get down to 197 pounds? Between you and me, I don't think that will happen. And that's going to be for a number of reasons because, something will happen, like, for example, injury. Then there's going to be periods when I'm cycling off of GO2 max. I mean, not GO2 max, but when I'm cycling off of G Test and Turk Builder. So when I cycle off of those supplements, that may decrease my ability to handle all of these workouts. So that's something that has to be taken into consideration. Again, everything might not be perfect. It might not work out the way that I want to work out. There are some precautions that I am taking to make sure that the amount of calories that I'm burning are within when I'm trying to estimate. Like, for example, when it comes to lifting weight, let's say I do a session of weightlifting and it shows that I only burn like 500 calories. What I will do is I'll just jump on my elliptical machine and I'll just do some cardio until it says that I burn that remaining 100 calories. And that's how I make sure that the calories that I'm burned working out are what they're supposed to be. Same thing with the cardio. With the cardio, it's just very easy. I just keep on doing cardio until I hit the number that I want to hit. Easy peasy lemon squeezing. Now, some of the things that I am considering doing is I am considering going back to Planet Fitness. so that I can utilize some of their machines. Because I am getting a little bit tired of the elliptical that I have. I have to keep tightening the screws because it gets loose and then it starts squeaking and stuff like that. So what I might end up doing is I might end up getting just the cheapest Planet Fitness gym membership, just so that I can use their cardio machines when I need to use their cardio machines, and that'll be the only reason why I go to Planet Fitness. Maybe on occasion I might do an exercise there, but that's going to be like way later down the line. I probably won't even think about getting a gym membership with Planet Fitness until like maybe phase four. Phase four is when I might have to go to a gym because at that point I'm gonna need more weights, um, and it just might be easier for me to just do my exercises at a gym using specialized equipment to do some of the exercise that I want to do. And plus, they'll both be right there. You'll have all these different cardio machines and all these different weight machines, and so that's something that may end up doing when I get to phase four. I haven't really decided that, but that's on the table. At the very least, it's on the table. It'll just be cheaper than me trying to buy more weights because the current weights that I have only go up to 275 pounds, give or take. And so the cheapest weights that I could get it will be like about $1 a pound. And that stuff adds up quick, you know what I'm saying? So like if I'm trying to get like an extra 200 pounds of weights, that can easily cost me like $200 to $300. So I have to be a little bit more conscious because of the budget. And it'll be like, why pay $200, $200 to $300 to get weights when I can, of course, pay $10 a month and use all of their weights. So again, it's something that I'm considering, but I won't have to really consider that until I get to phase four. Um, so yeah, so that's my workout plan. Pretty much it's going to be consistent. I don't really need to change anything, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for probably like the next year. I don't really think I need to tweak anything about that. The diet, I don't really need to change anything. I am satisfied with the diet as is. Okay, so let's get into the routine. So I've gone back to a 3-day split. So I do a push day, a pull day, a leg day. Um, and this is also just to make sure that I wanted to at least put 2 days between workouts so that I give that set of muscles time to really, fully recover. Well, at least recover to like 90%. Um, I don't like trying to do a push pull, and I don't feel like it's giving me enough time to recover between the push workouts, even when I'm just changing some of the exercise that I do during the push workouts. So this is what I'm doing right now. It's going to be a 3-day split. So basically for the push, it's going to be like shoulders, chest, and triceps. For the pull, it's going to be biceps, and back, and the rear lats. And then the leg day is also going to include like some of the core workout. So it'll include abs, of course, your legs and stuff like that, and the glutes and stuff. So that's what's going to be leg day. I'm keeping the 3x12 with a 90-second rest in between sets. Now, just to go back over some of these phases. In some of these phases, what I plan on doing is to maintain a high intensity for my training what I will do is, like if you notice, these phases are basically broken up into about like 13-week intervals. So like every 13 weeks, I may do something like, for example, in phase three, I'm doing like one extra day of cardio and I'm adding two exercise to each of my routines. So when you look at the push, pull, and legs, as you see, these are the current exercises that I'm doing. Each one has about 7 different exercise. Um, and so when I enter phase three, each of these I'm going to give 2 extra exercises. Um, and that's phase three, right? Um, then when I enter like phase four, you'll notice that I'm doing like 2 exercises. I'm doing 2 workouts each day. Well, 2 weightlifting, 2 cardios. I'm doing that pretty much 6 days a week. But during this phase, I'm adding an extra exercise to each routine. So if we count this up, right now we have 7. In phase three, we're going to have 9. And by the time we get to phase four, we're going to have 10. So what's going to happen is those 10 exercises are going to get split up into 2 sessions. So you're going to have 1 session in the morning, 1 session in the evening. And that's how I'm increasing the intensity. And also in phase four, I will increase my sets to 5. So for phase one and two, it's going to be 3 sets of 12 reps. When I get into phase four, it's going to be 5 sets of 12 reps. And then finally, when I get into phase 5, which again, I still have to tweak it. It's not set in stone. But phase 5, I'm going to increase the reps to 15. So everything is 3 by 12 in phase 1, 3 by 12 in phase 2 and in phase 3. And then in phase 4, it's going to be 5 by 12. And then in phase 5, it's going to be 5 by 15. And so that's how I increase the intensity, or rather, maintain the intensity. So yeah, that's the routine. If we want to if we want to focus on the actual exercises, those are the exercises that I'm doing. I'm still trying to make all of this work. I actually had only did like 1 exercise over the course of this week, which I didn't really like. I just didn't know what was going on. It's like there was just like so many things going on. Me trying to get my phone fixed. I'm doing a closing at work, so I've been staying a little bit over. And so I've been really mentally exhausted. So I was only able to do like 1 exercise and like 2 cardio sessions this week. But going into next week, I am doing more, of course. And now that I got my phone fixed, I can do a recording of my new routines. So next week, I'll go ahead and record my push workout. And then the week after that, I'll record my pull workout. And then the week after that, I'll record my leg workout. Now, I'm still experimenting with this. So I did make a mistake. When I was doing my workout, I basically tried to increase everything by like 10 or 20 pounds. And, basically everything was golden until I got to like the last 2 exercises. When I got to the last 2 exercises, I barely could do them. the form was crappy. I was struggling, and I ended up having to cut some of them short. So I need to be careful when I'm doing, this much exercise. Doing 7 different exercises. I need to be careful with the amount of weight that I'm increasing each week. So what's probably going to happen is I'm going to like try to reduce the amount of weight that I increase each week. Maybe try to keep it at maybe somewhere between a 2.5 to a 5 pound increase in weight each from week to week. That way we don't overload ourselves, and I got to make sure that I'm at least maintaining proper form, and I'm still trying to improve my current form. So, it's a lot that I'm trying to do all at the same time. And so I have to basically be careful with my weight increases, because I will say the exercise that I did on the 29th, it was a struggle. I'm glad I didn't even record it, because I didn't like the quality of that workout. And ego came into play during the 29th, and I didn't like that. So I'm probably going to end up reducing the weight this week, just to counterbalance the stupidity that I did last week. But yeah, I'm not talking about these numbers right here. I need to fill this in. But yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I was a complete idiot. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's the routine. Not much is really going to change. I'm still going to be doing those same exercises in different phases. It's just every 13 weeks, I'll just change something slightly different. Add some exercises, increase the sets, increase the reps, and that's pretty much what I'm doing in terms of variation. Um, at least for phase 2 and 3. These exercises could change if I do end up going with a gym membership, and I use that gym membership during phase 4 and 5. Then of course these exercises will change, because I'll just use some of the specialty equipments that are at the gym. No guarantee about that, but it is what it is. So anyway, I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about in terms of my plan. I think everything is pretty straightforward. Ugh. The video went longer than I wanted. Ended up hitting about 40 minutes or something. So I'll just go ahead and end the video here. I gave a update to my routine. Not much has really changed. I just went from a 2-day split, where I was basically doing push in the morning, abs in the evening, pull in the morning, legs in the evening. So I basically went from this 2-day style of exercise into like a 3-day style of exercise, which is to give my muscles more time to fully recover. The diet has changed. I went from consuming like somewhere between 23 to 2,600 calories to consuming around 2,100 calories. Of course, you still got to be weary. Potentially, the food labels could really have my diet at 2,700 calories, but I can't really tell. I doubt it, because most of my food is more raw ingredient, and it's something that I have to cook myself. So my diet is around 2,100 calories. So just a small decrease compared to what it was before. My routine, again, we're going from a 2-day split to a 3-day split. I'm doing more cardio, and my goal for phase 2 is to try to replicate my plan exactly as it's written. So, only consume 2,100 calories. Do my workout in the morning, which is cardio, and then do my weightlifting in the afternoon after work. Um, Try to make sure that I'm burning as much calories as what's written out on my forecast. And so for cardio, for phase two, 800 calories. And for weightlifting, about 600 calories, which is a little bit ambitious, but it's what I'm trying to go for. I am trying to get back to losing weight. So I do anticipate that this will maybe slow down how much muscles that I'm building, because it's basically creating a bigger caloric deficit. But I don't think it will have that much of an impact. I really think the supplements that I'm taking, Turk Builder Plus, GO2 Max, and G Test, I think those will be the game changer that allows me to, slowly reduce my calories while still, maintaining my gains in terms of muscle and strength. So we will see. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I'll catch you next time, and remember, stay on the path.